Hi, this is Chad Kennedy with DAT IQ. I wanted to share and cover a couple of FAQs that I receive about fuel, how we handle fuel in our modeling process, and how we handle fuel in benchmarking in our benchmark analytics application. So I'll cover off on those questions here in this video. First I wanted to show in benchmark where we use position to benchmark and point out that this is what I'm talking about when I say how we handle fuel and benchmarking. We use a total cost approach. So when customers see that they're 10% in any given month or 7% overall above or below our benchmark, it is accounting for your fuel program being different than others. We're normalizing for that. So I'll jump over to some slides and I'll come back here in just a minute. The too long don't read of this is we normalize for fuel. We've been doing it a similar way over the last 20 years. We're very confident in this approach. I'll step through how we do this. So when we receive contributed data from our customers on a lane from A to B, two different shippers, same lane. In this example, we receive line haul cost. And in this example, there are different line haul costs and fuel costs differing as well, different fuel surcharge programs. Same lane, same distance, different fuel surcharge programs. And so the contributed total cost is the same. So the total cost of these two shippers is the same. So they should be compared equally. In other words, the carrier is adjusting the line haul cost based on the fuel cost is the common understanding of how this works in the marketplace. What we do is we take this total cost and we use a modeled fuel surcharge program. So we use a fuel surcharge program relevant to the week or the day that we're running our model. And in this case, it's $90 for both shippers. We're going to use the same standard fuel program for every shipment. And then what we do is we take the total cost minus the modeled fuel, and then we get a standard line haul for both shippers of 510. So here we have an equal comparison. This is the number that goes into our model. We're modeling line haul. Our model outputs a line haul cost of 510 in this simple example. And then we add that fuel back on to give you your total cost comparison. So in this example, both shippers would get compared to our benchmark plus fuel of 600 compared to their contributed 600. So they would be at 0% to our benchmark. So that's how we do that. I also want to point out in our benchmark analytics application, which I'll jump back over to, we take your fuel out of that total cost when you ask for a line haul cost. I'll show you where that is. But what we do in this example is we take that total benchmark cost of 600, we remove your contributed fuel so that you can see what your relevant line haul is that you submitted to us, because that's what you want to see when you're doing your analytics. So that feature is right here. You can just toggle between line haul and line haul plus fuel. And then in any area that you see total cost being reported, it would be calculated that way. I also wanted to point out in benchmark that we do have fuel trend analysis. So you can compare your fuel to everyone else's in gray, yours would be in purple over time, and see how your fuel surcharge program compares. And in any of this, you can do drill down analysis. And then I also wanted to, another question I get is, I changed my fuel surcharge program at some point in time in hopes to save money in the long run, and I want to measure that. And the best way that I know of to measure that is using position to benchmark, because this is that accounting for all variables, all things that are changing like distance and direction, head haul, back haul, and fuel. And so this is your total cost comparison. So if you made a change in your fuel surcharge program, it would be best to compare your fuel before and after, your benchmark position before and after, to get an idea of how your cost changes over time, total cost that is. So I think that covers all the typical questions I get about fuel. Hopefully that's helpful for you, and let us know if you have any questions. Thank you.